12 frogs were sitting on a log, and 7 decided to jump into the pond where the log was adjacent to. So if 7 decided to jump, how many remained on the log? How many of you would vote 5? 7? None? 12? Yeah, that is the answer. It's 12. Because the 7 frogs only decided to jump. They did not actually take the leap. There's an enormous difference between deciding and doing. And y'all, those of you who are married, y'all know that very well. Your spouse says, "Can you take out the trash?" And your answer is, "Yes, I can." It doesn't mean I will. I have to pay the ability to do it. So what they say is there is an enormous difference between deciding and doing. Learning about leadership and leaders is not the same as leading. Deciding to be an exemplary leader is not the same as being one. Leading is doing, and you have to do leadership to be a leader. And that's what this book is all about, because it is a book about doing, it's a book about behaviors, and frankly, you only can show people you've learned something when you do. So page 3 of your handout is a critical review of this book that came from Financial Times. And this is why you came. If you look at your handout, these are the 5 fundamentals of exemplary leadership that the authors talk about. And I'll develop each of these in the synopsis today. But these 5 are to believe in yourself, aspire to excel, challenge yourself, engage support, and practice deliberately. Now that you know those 5, you still have to stay for the rest of the program. So that's why you came today, but y'all have to sit here and listen to me explain these. In the box are 3 quotes. I'll read 2 of them. One says, "Who I am, what I do, and how I do it make a difference." And then down below, it's been said that only 3 things happen naturally in organizations: friction, confusion, and underperformance. Everything else requires leadership. How about that? Never forget it. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what they do in developing the book. There's 7 parts in the book. The 5 fundamentals that I just talked about are the central part of the book, and there's also an introduction and a conclusion. So the book actually begins with why the world needs exemplary leaders. And in the first chapter, y'all, it is this question that we ask in just about every leadership training program and class you could take. I just finished a leadership course, 15 weeks at the University of Texas at Dallas that I taught. And so we asked this question, are leaders made or born? I really don't know why we ask the question, because we never answer it, but it goes up into all these classes. I guess you drink wine and think about it. Of course, my class is in the morning, so I don't drink wine. But the idea being that, you know, what you do with this answer. Well, y'all, these authors are very clear how stupid of a question that is. Are leaders made or born? Because what they said was everybody's born. Okay, I mean, that's the answer. I was really glad to learn that, by the way. Leadership is not preordained, neither is the private reserve of a special class of charismatic men or women. Leadership is not a gene, it is not a trait. There is no hard evidence to suggest that leadership is imprinted in the DNA of some people and not others. And as the quote says on your outline, they consider that not a very productive question. And so the idea being that you commit to being the best. Leading is doing, as I started with. It talks about the idea that you have a great diet by making small differences in yourself and with other people. You always try to sustain the commitment. Just because you've led one time or one place doesn't mean that's the only time there is. And you always try to keep hope alive. So this is a book about learning. It's about behaviors. But I really believe it's a book about doing. You know, you only can show people you've learned something if you're able to do. And I think that's one of the reasons, in addition to who these authors are, that has made this a bestseller. I hope you all enjoyed that synopsis of learning leadership.